It's the 1984 Monaco Grand Prix, and a young Brazilian driver in his rookie Formula 1 season is about to make history. In treacherous rain-soaked conditions, he's charging through the field in an underpowered Tolman, hunting down the race leader. Who is this fearless newcomer pushing the limits of grip and sanity on the most challenging street circuit in Formula 1? This is Ayrton Senna, and he's about to show the world why he became one of the greatest drivers of all time. Born in Sao Paulo, Brazil in 1960, Ayrton Senna didn't come from a typical wealthy European background of many F1 drivers. His father was a successful businessman, but Senna's path to the top was paved by determination, not with money. Little Ayrton Senna got his first go-kart at the age of 4. By 8, he was competing, and by 13, the kid was dominating the kart scene. It's like he came out of the womb with a steering wheel in his hands. Senna climbed the racing ladder faster than this Miata behind me. He moved to England in 1981 to compete in the cutthroat world of British Formula Ford. And guess what? He won. A lot. Like, embarrassingly a lot for the local lads. In 1983, Senna won the British Formula 3 Championship. This is where things get spicy. During a postseason F3 race at Macau, he went wheel-to-wheel with a young German hotshot named Michael Schumacher. Senna won, but little did he know he was battling the guy who'd eventually break all of his records. Now we're in 1984, and Senna got his foot in the Formula 1 door with the Tolman team. It's not exactly a top-tier ride, but hey, you gotta start somewhere, right? Remember the rain-soaked Monaco race I mentioned earlier? Yeah, that was Senna's coming out party. Not like the ones we got today. He started in 13th and carved through the field like a hot knife through butter. But by lap 32, he was in second place, hunting down the race leader, Alain Prost. Senna was catching Prost at a ridiculous rate of several seconds per lap. The race was stopped on lap 32 due to the horrendous conditions, with Prost declared the winner and Senna in second. But everyone knew, a star was really born that day. Senna's talent was obvious, and it didn't take long for better teams to come calling. He joined Lotus in 1985 and promptly won his first Grand Prix in Portugal. And you guessed it, rain. This guy was like a rain whisperer or something. But Senna wasn't just fast in the wet. He was fast everywhere. And I mean everywhere. The dude had an overwhelming ability to find the gap where others couldn't. He'd push his car to the absolute limit, often dancing on razor's edge between genius and disaster. In 1988, Senna joined McLaren and formed one of the most dominant and explosive partnerships in F1 history with Alain Prost. These two were like oil and water, except that the oil was on fire and the water was actually gasoline. Their first year together, McLaren won 15 out of 16 races. Senna took his first world championship, winning 8 races to Prost's 7. But this was just the beginning of an epic rivalry that would often define an era of Formula 1. The 1989 season saw the Senna-Prost relationship deteriorate faster than a discount brake pad. At the Japanese Grand Prix, with the championship on the line, the two collided. Prost was out, but Senna kept going, won the race, and was then disqualified on technicality. But Prost took the title, and man, Senna was furious. But revenge came swiftly. In 1990, at the same track, Senna took Prost out at the first corner, securing the second world championship in the process. It was controversial, dangerous, and exactly the kind of take-no-prisoners move that made Senna both loved and feared. But Senna's intensity wasn't limited on its track battles. He was a perfectionist, constantly pushing his team farther and farther. He had almost a mystical connection with the car, often describing his fastest lap as an out-of-body experience. But Senna wasn't just about winning at all costs. He had a deep spiritual side and a strong sense of social responsibility. He quietly donated millions to the children's charities in Brazil and was often a vocal advocate for safety improvement in Formula 1. And Senna's career reached its peak with his third world championship in 1991. But by 1994, with rule changes changing up the sport, he found himself in an unfamiliar position, struggling to keep up with the emerging talents like Michael Schumacher. Then came the 1994 Santa Monica Grand Prix, a weekend that started with horror of Roland Ratzenberg fatally crashing in qualifying. Senna, deeply shaken, still took pole position for the race. But on lap 7, Senna's car hit the concrete wall at over 120 miles per hour.
Michael Schumacher now, and Senna! My goodness! I just saw him plunge off to the right, and Senna has joined Pedro Lamy.
This great Ayrton Senna, just 34 years old, was gone. This loss sent shockwaves through the sport and around the world. In Brazil, 3 days of mourning were declared. Millions lined the streets of Sao Paulo for his funeral procession. Senna's death, coming so soon after Ratzenberg, led to a revolution in F1 safety. The sport he loved so much was changed because of him. Ayrton Senna's legacy isn't just about his 3 world championships or his 41 Grand Prix victories. It's just about the way he approached racing. With a mix of spirituality, intensity, and raw, uncompromising talent that we may never see again. He once said,
by being a racing driver means you are racing with other people. And if you no longer go for a gap that exists, you're no longer a racing driver.
Senna always went for the gap, on and off the track, and in doing so, he carved out a place in racing history that will never be forgotten. Ayrton Senna's legacy lives on as the Brazilian racing legend who lived fast, pushed limits, and left an incredible mark on Formula 1. But hey, if you enjoyed this shorter video, let me know. If you guys like the face in the video, let me know. This is something new. Just wanted to try it. Also kind of wanted to show off my car. But I'll see you guys in the next one. Don't forget to subscribe. Peace.